So I started life in a cult, which, as you can imagine, is not the most healthy upbringing for a child and about as far from the church as you can get. And as I got old enough to start questioning these things and examining what I believed, I became a more and more adamant and argumentative atheist, which I was about. But then my mum became a Christian when I was a teenager, and that kind of threw me because she's an intelligent and reasonable woman. And so I came to her with all my arguments, and she had none of it. She just said, there's an Alpha course at the local church, and they'd be happy to hear your arguments, which I wasn't completely convinced by, but she said there'd be cake, so I was there. And for 10 weeks, I went along, and I argued, and they listened, and I ate cake, and it was beautiful. But I got to the end of it, and I realized I hadn't actually listened much or engaged much with what the other people were saying. So I went again, and I had more cake, and I had more conversation. Still pretty argumentative, but as I was getting through that, I was realizing that actually it can be reasonable for people to have a faith. But if God's not real, then it's still fooling themselves. And so we got to the end of my second course, and they wanted to pray for me. And I said yes, because I think that if I had to be true to my beliefs, I had to give it a chance. And so I did. I gave it a chance, and I really met with God. I was blown away because all of my tension that I'd had, all the stress, flew away. And for a moment, I was just there with God, blown away and amazed by his love and his presence, convinced that he was completely real, which was a complete 360 for my life. And I became a Christian that day. And I went on from that, and now I'm a curate at St. Philip's Chapel Street, which means I'm training to be a vicar all these years later. And that doesn't mean that's what anybody has to do, but what I want to say is you're welcome to come and eat lots of cake and ask all those big questions, because we all have them, and it's a great opportunity to answer them for yourselves and see where that goes. So I'll be running an Alpha course, and please do come along and stuff your face.